Lennar Homes did something interesting in Q3. It actually increased revenue when other home builders were actually losing money. Lennar actually increased revenue in Q3. We're going to show you some stats, all that kind of interesting stuff. So if you're a Lennar builder or you're a Lennar home enthusiast or a new home enthusiast, stay tuned. This is going to be really, really interesting. Welcome to Sacramento's #1 YouTube channel for all real estate news regarding Sacramento and the surrounding areas. So if that's you, hit that subscribe button and that bell will bring you bi-weekly content. We also go live every Wednesday at 5:30. So tune in, let's get going, and let's talk a little Sacramento right now. Okay, so this is going to be really interesting. As we all know, in the market we currently live in, new homes have been taking on the chin a little bit. But Lennar, look at their earning report for Q3. Revenues are up, home deliveries are up, average sale price is even up in Q3. New orders, of course, fell, but I think we're all going to take it on the chin. I think all new home builders, including even Lennar, is going to be taken on the chin in Q4, but it really brings up some interesting, at least for me, some interesting ideas about how Lennar does stuff, right? Their model is a little bit different than most new home builders. They have kind of like, base upgrades, and there's a few things you can upgrade in Lennar, like the floors and certain other things. But for the most part, what the price you see when you walk in the door, you're going to get close to that, at least closer than other builders like Toll Brothers, Taylor Morrison. And it seems like one of the things that I'm noticing, especially on this slide, is that their home deliveries actually increased by 13%. When most home builders were suffering from a lot of people falling out of contract. Now, maybe that was because people went to the design center and then they went a little bit higher than they should have on upgrades. And it could also be, one could say, is because Lennar owns everything, i.e. their title company, their mortgage company, and I think a piece as of this point of their solar company. So a lot of things that Lennar has been doing lately has been going right for them, clearly, because other builders are not doing this well. Now, Lennar also was the first builder to come out with the next gen suite. And they've kind of almost trademarked this affordable luxury tag that my buddy Sam Golovi named a little while ago. And it's really, really interesting. So if we see this, we'll go to the chair. Lennar chairman on Q3 earnings, sales have clearly been impacted by rising interest rates, but there remains a significant national shortage of houses, especially workforce housing, and demand remains strong. So they're seeing a little, there's a little optimistic, there's a little gray area, they're towing the line. I think they might be surprised as well about how they're doing when other builders are not doing that well. But check this next slide out. As we navigate the rebalance between price and interest rate, now, this is very, very interesting. Now, most people would see this quote and say, okay, so they're going to start dropping their prices as well. Now, here's the thing about Lennar is they've always kind of, especially in our neck of the woods, Sacramento metro area, they've always built like $400,000 to $500,000 houses. Now, 5, 6, around there, they've kind of hit like the sweet spot. They're always very smart about picking the sweet spot. Now, they started building in areas like El Dorado Hills above $1 million. This is one of the first times, if ever, we've ever seen Lennar go that high with larger homes. It was interesting because Toll Brothers had purchased a piece of land near Lennar. And so Lennar went in there. They sold the houses for over $1 million. The second Toll Brothers kind of opened up their sales office, Lennar was seen slashing kind of prices and giving all the sorts of discounts on the homes to kind of finish up their communities. So they're very, very smart about kind of what they're doing to kind of keep the ball rolling. Most builders are hurting. But like I said, Lennar seems to be doing really, really well. I think Q4 in general is going to be that month or the quarter that most people are going to be hit. But it's amazing the type of revenue and the type of starts and the type of all this stuff that's happening with Lennar in comparison to other companies. You look at KB, they're down. And, this is just one builder. There's other builders that are down too. But Lennar is actually doing well. So for me, it's just interesting to see how they're doing it. If you look at Lennar in general, they're usually always the people who get to the piece of property first, right? So if there's a big piece of land, you usually see Lennar selling homes before anyone else, which is super smart. They're able to kind of hedge their bets a little bit by getting in there first. We saw this in like Folsom Ranch, where they're building somewhat close to the New Home Company, where New Home is dropping $1 million homes left and right, and so is JMC. So it's interesting where they're kind of hedging their bets. El Dorado Hills the same way. They're super close to areas like Blackstone, Serrano. They're $1 million areas in the Sacramento metro. And so they just started to build over $1 million. Very, very smart. And they almost knew when Toll Brothers would start selling up there because their communities are just about done out there. And so they're getting rid of the last few homes up there and they're moving on their merry way. They did this also in Elk Grove where Taylor Morrison was building Madera Meadows, and so forth and so on. So, as much as I might give Lennar a lot of grief about their customer service, they definitely seem to be one of the smarter companies right now in this market. Now, my prediction for Lennar is you're going to see less building. You're going to see bigger homes at a higher price point. They're going to own or try to own that affordable luxury area. As we saw in COVID, everyone loves a big house. They love the next-gen suites. They love moving in a lot of people and having a lot of room. I think Lennar knows this and decides, well, interest rates are going up. There's going to be less buyers. So the buyers that are actually approved are people who actually probably at a little bit of a higher price point. So let's capitalize on this and create bigger homes, more expensive homes, not as expensive as Toll Brothers, not as expensive as Taylor Morrison, but just under that a little bit. And let's tactically figure out where these companies have bought land, buy land near them, build before they do, and grab a lot of the customers that would normally go to another builder and then leave. So I think they're super smart, strategic, and I'll say something this. I mean, Lennar's pricing model has been one of the only things that I've really admired, where if you go into a builder, whatever pricing they give you is kind of sort of what you're going to leave. If you go to another builder, chances are you're going to be paying at least 6% in upgrades, which is brutal when a person thinks they're going in for one price tag and then leaving with another, including lot premiums. Lennar is not so much like this, and I think that this might be one of the reasons why in Q3 they're one of the only builders that actually made money. Okay, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Until next time. Guess what, guys? The video just ended. But don't worry, we have more videos just like that one right over there. And if you missed that red subscribe button during the course of the video, we got you covered right there. Hit that subscribe button. We promise to bring you some amazing content. We won't let you down. Now, if you're looking for a team in the Sacramento metro area to work with, we'd love to talk to you one-on-one. We always include a Zoom link down below, so book a time where we can talk to you a little one-on-one, find out exactly what your real estate needs are.